What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk about it. Now, I tell you, this country is something else. This country is truly something else. Only in this country do we have in front of us things that don't make any damn sense. You might be saying, what does that even mean? It means that even though we're live right now, there is no tracking rate on the video. They have not even put up a tracking rate. I kid you not. There's not a line, there's nothing showing like I'm even live. As soon as they saw the title to the video, everybody got different. Afraid of what someone's going to say. That has been a major problem in this world. People upset or mad or frustrated over what somebody's going to say. Is that where we at right now as a country, as an organization? Like what? That doesn't even make sense. What you afraid of? See, it's so weird because what you should be afraid of, you're not. Mm-hmm. There it is. Now it's deciding to track. So let's see. After all this time, now it's starting to track. Okay. Now they've decided to track it. Go along, get along, go along, get along, go along, get along. Yes, cowards. Perfect title, isn't it? Cowards and criminals is why the world is in a spiral right now. Because we got too many cowards and criminals running the world. See, all these people who are criminals, most of them are cowards. They don't know how to take something from you in front of you and man enough to take it. No, they cowardly steal it when you're not around. They cowardly steal and maneuver when you're no longer a threat. They move like punks. That's the government. That's everybody you know in the streets. They're talking about locking up Trump because they say, well, Trump's a criminal. Okay, I believe it. People think like, you don't think Trump's innocent? Hell no, he ain't innocent. He's guilty of sin. And you want to know who else is guilty of sin? Every single body else in that White House. But who cares about that? What you need to be concerned about, the legislative branch, which made up of the House of Representatives and Congress, right? All the powers that be, that makes the laws, declare the wars, regulate the foreign government, commerce, taxing, spending policies. That's who you need to put all your attention towards. These branches of government, the legislative branch, these are your cowards. These are your criminals. These are the people that are holding you back. They claim to be your leadership, but ask them the questions. These are the guys that need to answer the questions. You're wasting your breath worrying about President of the United States of America. Writing a letter to him is might as well just set it on fire. Nothing gets done because of the President of the United States of America. Well, who's your guy? Who do you go to? Well, who's the Speaker of the House? Right? The one that calls the meetings, McCarthy, right? He's the one that's the Speaker of the House. Who's the rep for your state? Write your congressman for your state and your bracket. The leadership, if you're a Democrat, you got what's his name, Hakeem Jeffries. And then they got the whip over there to get the votes, Catherine Clark. Then you got what's his name, Peter Aguilar. He's the caucus chairman. Then the assistant to Hakeem Jeffries is James Clyburn. Right? So you got 4 people of color on the Democratic side, and y'all ain't even talking to them about your empty promises that you didn't collect on. What else you didn't get, people? What else did they promise you that they never gave you? And I hope she got that out. Oh, she did. What else did they promise you that they didn't deliver on? What did you want in this election? What did you want to get? You know what? 90% of Americans can't even tell you. You know what they say? I want less gas. Less gas. Less gas. That's all you could come up with is, I want a low gas price. Okay, what if they lowered your gas but raised your rent? Now what? They raising property tax. What if they lowered the gas and eliminated jobs? You see? This is what they do. In the summertime, the gas is normally sky high because they know that's when people get on the road and travel. Have you ever rented a car in the summer? What has become of that rental car in the summer? Well, that rental car is a little bit out of whack, isn't it? That rental car price is off the charts because they don't want it to be anything else but what it is. Now, all those people I named, you guys won't have anything to do with them because they're only going to take your tax dollars and put it in their pocket. Why? Because that's what they've always done. Why would they change today? People have told you to vote one way your whole life. My thing is vote for who's doing best for you. I'm not here to tell you to vote Republican. I'm not here to tell you to vote independent, and I'm not here to tell you to vote Democrat. I'm here to tell you to vote what is best for you. No one else has ever told you that. None of these other politicians will ever tell you to vote what's best for you. What benefits you? That's what you're supposed to be voting for, right? Vote for what is in your best interest. Why does other people get upset, violent even, when someone tells them who they are voting for? People refuse to tell you who they voting for. They'll tell you their bedroom secrets before they tell you that. Now you got Stephen Scalise, the majority leader for the Republicans. Then you got their whip, who's Tom Emmer. Then you have Elise Stefanik, who is the reference conference chairman. And then the Republican policy committee chairman is Gary Palmer. Go see them. Write to them. Write to your congressman and CC these people in there. There's your leadership if you're on the right wing side and says, hey, why is this not happening? You guys are here for a reason, right? Why are these things not happening for me? Why isn't anyone asking any questions? See, on the Patreon, oh, puppy, we're getting ready to go to the stratosphere. Now, of course, they want everybody to be subservient. Why do they want people to be subservient? Can anybody ask or fill in the blanks as to why that is? Well, it's very simple to me, but I want to see if you guys understand and know why they want you to be subservient and wanted to follow and toe the line. They want you to toe the line because they want everyone to assimilate. Don't ask no questions. Do as you're told. See, the thing is, keep your mouth shut, do as you told, and absolute loyalty. Those are the three things they want you to follow. Those three things could lead you to president of the United States. Those three things could lead you into a life of happiness. Don't ask no questions, and we'll promote you. You just follow blindly our leadership, and we'll get you there. I'm voting for Trump. That's cool. Trump fits what's best for your agenda. That's who you vote for. But guess what? Can't vote for him if he ain't on the ballot. So what do you want from Trump? A very honest answer. What do you want from Trump? What do you expect from him? Trump is a businessman, a slime ball, but a businessman. You will get more out of Trump by showing up to his house with the whole Miss American pageant from Texas. 21-year-old teen model pageant. You could bring them into your house and then you start talking whatever you want to talk, and you could probably get a deal done. See, the thing with Trump is he'll sell America for $39.95. Look, I did all we could. It's no way, it's hopeless. I had to sell. Don't worry. My friends over there in Taiwan said, you got nothing to worry about. My friend in Russia says, all you got to do is learn a couple of words in Russia and then you'll be okay. It's the Russian American now. I'm out. He will get rid of you for a heartbeat. So if you trust in Trump to be political, he's not. He will never be. Trump doesn't want a wall. What Trump wants is the act of getting the wall. All these people are putting up money. Money's disappearing left and right. This construction process is going to eliminate everything. Right? It's the illusion. That wall won't keep nobody out. Who the hell you think gonna build a wall? You gonna get Mexicans to build a wall to keep themselves out? You think a wall was keeping them out of this country? They cross through alligators and snakes. You think they care about a goddamn wall? Wake up. This country's problem is cowards and criminals is why this world is spiraling down. We have too much control going into other places. The world got no more use for another useless man. And that's what we're creating, useless men. That's the problem. We're having more useless men in the world than men that could provide some use to the world. We got everybody afraid to go out in the world. They want to stay home with mama. They don't even dream of going out in the world and getting some on their own. They want to sit home with mama. It's safer to sit at home with mama than to go out in the world. They don't want to take that risk. Why they we gonna do that for? When all they gotta do is sit at home with mama. Some don't even get jobs. That's okay. You know what parents are doing? They're declaring their kids mentally insane since they're a teenager. Saying my son is too crazy to get any type of job or anything else. he can't function. So you know what happens to him? Since he can't function, you know what happens to him? You know what happens to a man that can't function, right? They put them in classes that are slower, and they get a check from the government. The government provides them checks. I bought some new wine glass. Now, people don't realize there are a couple of things in the world that you don't understand. Is they neutered everybody. They've eliminated the strong and replaced them with the weak. Anybody who's strong, they try to make them conform to their idealistic ways of living. Your children got to go to preschool now and learn pronouns, he, they, she, to apply to people rather than learning their names. They're coming back confused saying, I thought that was a girl. Teacher told me that's a boy now. She was a girl last week. Now she's a boy. Daddy, what's going on? Now kids are confused because they don't even understand what to even call whatever that is. It's things you should never have in a classroom, but it's there. Now they tell us praying in school is a problem, but you can sing the national anthem. It's not a problem to sing the national anthem every morning. But prayer, now that's a problem. When is it going to start to make sense? Well, we stopped being productive men. We used to go to these Congress meetings. We used to knock on the doors. We used to ask questions. We used to have answers for those questions. We don't do that anymore. Useless. That's what we promote now. Let's be useless. If we just keep our nose down and don't say nothing, things are going to change. Joe Biden was supposed to change things, right? He's had 4 years. 4. We're not even at 4 yet. People want him gone. His popularity is lower than Trump's. Who did he provide for? The Asians got something. The gays got something. Hell, white people got something. Got billions. But the people that got him elected, the brothers and the sisters, what did they get? God bless America. They gave you a Juneteenth holiday You get a day off work to celebrate a day of liberation if you getting effed up. Celebrate. It's not something to celebrate, something to remember, but Juneteenth is nothing to celebrate. So when people start going on these trendy, it's Juneteenth, woo! I'll be like, what are you celebrating? Do you know what Juneteenth was? Why would you be celebrating? That was a very dangerous, painful time. You remember it, but you don't celebrate it. I don't see people having a Holocaust party. Woo! The Holocaust! Woo! Why would you celebrate Juneteenth? Just asking a question, America. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all correct me. Because maybe I'm all messed up in the head. Maybe I don't get it. Because to me, that's on the level of not making any sense. See, they want weak men, but they want to determine who's going to be weak. What strong black men do you see in this America that we got today? None. We have no strong Americans anymore. We just don't possess them. We have no images of strong black men. They won't show them on television. They won't show them doing anything. So if they're not on television, right? They're not in movies. They're not in film. What is your representation of black men now? Docile, feminine acting, or not seen at all. We image project. We image percept too. So they know this. So what we see, we pick up and learn from. And it psychologically, without you, what they call that, subconsciously, programs you to go off what you see. If you see someone yelling and screaming and all this, subjectively, we've already appraised that person as an abusive person because of his attitude, his posture, how he carries himself. We've already made subconsciously that person is probably a violent person at home as well as he is. Our subconscious has already made that decision for us based off what we saw. Now, why is it you don't see strong black families on television anymore? That is a very good question. I've watched television stations, I've seen movies. Whenever they show diversity, they show a black woman with a white guy, a Latino guy, even an Asian guy. Very seldomly do you see her with a black guy. You don't see black woman, black man, and almost nothing. Nothing mainstream. You ain't gonna see that. It's gonna be a mixture. And if they are, she's the boss and he's the bitch. Why is that? There's no equal anything. She telling him what to do. He, oh yeah, babe. And it's all fun and games. They want to promote that to all America, saying that's how they're supposed to be. No, sir. It's not reality. Meanwhile, they can put out their movies that have an entertainment that have all white casts. Ain't nothing black in there but the tires on the cars. And nobody says nothing. Jennifer Lawrence got a movie and ain't a black person in it. Nobody said anything. They don't care. They got a Native American Indian in there. So they're like, we got an Indian and we got some Latino dude in there or whatever. That's all we need. No black people around. So they have no black people in the film. So they ain't none of them walking around. They just out, don't exist. But you have that normalcy you can keep. We can't keep that. If we do that, we got to be the blackening. We the blackening. That's it. That's all we could be. See, strong black men are out there, and it is a lot of them, but they're being brainwashed, and most of them are the last of a dying breed, because the thing is, while all of us are here, the rest of the men, the ones that you're trying to be like men and turn into men, they're being programmed psychologically to hate their own. If she's too dark, she's ugly. They've been running that program since the 60s and the 50s. About time the 70s came along and it hit into the 80s, black men started going for more light-skinned girls. In the Midwest, that's what it was. If you were a light-skinned girl, you were considered to be pretty. If you were darker, you were considered to be ugly. That was the perceptions that they put on television screens all around the globe. The mocha-colored black was in, dark skin was ugly. And most black men started to go with all these light-skinned girls. Then it started to go from that to more white. Just forget light skin. I'm going straight to white. So it went from them light-skinned girls to grabbing these Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. Then it's like white girl city. They don't even care what she looked like. She can look like that microwave. It don't matter. She white, she grab. They grab it. So you can love whoever you want. I'm not telling you not to love who you want. That's fine. But they're programming other people to think this is what to do. They're sending that projection of saying, this is what you want to do. Now, America never had plans for you. When they wrote the Constitution, one thing about your black hair. You're the ones that's in the matrix. You're the one they're using as the battery. Why? Why do you think they went back to go get more of us? For those who don't know, we were always here, people. It wasn't like it was nothing but white people and Indians walking around. It was just Indians here until the white people showed up. And now we got Starbucks. No, it wasn't like that, bro. We were always here. We just didn't go to war with the Indians. We knew how to work amongst each other and be peaceful amongst each other. We don't have that in our vibe to just war with people all the time. That's not our nature. We are peaceful people. People have oppressed us for 400 years and we still talking about equality. So that tells you right there, our general nature of us is peace. Every other person and race is about peace. Unfortunately, the Anglo-Saxon, that is not their nature. Unfortunately, it is just not their nature to think peace. It's not their nature to think equality. They got to rule. So everywhere they went on this planet, war ensued. Everywhere they show up, it was a war. Everywhere. They go to China, war. Japan, war. Everywhere, war. Whenever they show up, there's a war. They can't just chill. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at the history books. The history books tell it all to you. Go do your homework. Wherever they showed up, it was a problem. But see, that's what they did, Terrence. They turned us into them. They brainwashed you to be like them. Why you think you're so violent? Why you think you acting out the way y'all do now? Because you own drugs. These drugs that warp your brains. You're drinking. You don't have a job. You can't have an outlet. Your conditions and where you at. If you had proper education, if you had the same education as a lot of these other people do, you wouldn't turn out the way you are. It's not a race thing. It's a condition thing. If you put a white person in that condition, they turn out living in a trailer home and broke and on welfare. And you're seeing it happen. It's called Minnesota. It's called Hammond, Indiana. So it's not about race. It's about condition. But that's why they went back to get more of us. They think and you look at their history books, our existence started when they came and got us from Africa and brought us here. Then what were we before you came and got us? No, they just went to get more of us. They're like, this is good business. Let's go get more of them. Then they start shipping us to England and everywhere else and slave trade and then all this craziness going on. But we don't get reparations. You can't expect your oppressors to say, here's some billions. Why? I mean, they owe us, here's your quadrillions. So if they were to do that, where does that leave them in the pecking order of things? They can't outwork you, really. You can work in the searing heat in the sun, your athleticism, you're naturally gifted to stay young, so you can work to 60, 70. Your body is still in shape. They got to get up and run every morning to just function. They're not built for this everyday thing. What they're built at is their technology. They're technical, analytical. That's their thing. That's where they excel at. So they good at making plans and following these things to the letter. They're more analytical. See, we're more creativity. We're more creative. That's how we've come up with ways to make things easier for us. When we work on something, we think of a better way to do it that's taking so much time to do it. We think of a shortcut to make this quicker. How do I make this quicker? When we were picking peas, and they had us in the fields picking peas, we came up with this little stick thing and just get the pea right out. We will create an idea to make the work faster. Our brains automatically think, how can we make this better? Make it faster, make it work. But they don't want thinkers anymore. They want followers. And that's the problem in the country right now. We have too many followers and not enough people saying, all right, I want to lead. When you got a follower wanting to be a leader just because they want to be the leader and they don't know what they're doing, you end up with what we got right now. We just gave billions to the Ukraine. We just gave the Asians money for 3 people getting beat up in a sauna, a massage parlor or something. And then all of a sudden it's Asian hate crime. It's like, who's doing that? Damn sure wasn't us. But they get tens of millions of dollars, like in a weekend. And they said, well, we painted Black Lives Matter on the floor. You got Juneteenth. Hey, I'm your guy. He ain't gonna be your guy again until that election roll back around. And you know what y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna hold his feet to the fire. Y'all ain't gonna even have a list of demands. Y'all gonna go out there. They're gonna bring Beyonce, Jay-Z. They're gonna bring all these entertainers in there to keep you dumb, deaf, and blind and distracted. And they'll have Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. You go, Michelle! Y'all gonna be doing all that stupidity. And they're gonna say, don't forget now, go to the polls and vote. Okay. I want to go vote for Michelle Obama with that. And y'all gonna vote. And guess what you're gonna get? The same damn thing for 4 more years. You got a vice president who has been not seen damn near since she been elected. What did she do? I don't know. I haven't seen her do a goddamn thing. She was black for 5 minutes and got elected. And then I guess she said, I don't want to be black no more. What happened? Now that we know the problem, what's the solution? I'm glad you asked. We just went over it. Trump ain't gonna save you either. He gonna be in jail. He'll be in jail by 2024. He's not getting on the ballot. Trust me. They're gonna make sure he ain't on the ballot. They are not taking no chances with him. These are criminals and cowards. They're not gonna let him get on no ballot. You need somebody who is a real president of the United States. Somebody that can deliver. Somebody can do the goods. Trump ain't going to deliver. He's going to sell you out. That's what he's going to do. Don't worry. Trump's no criminal. Of course he is. He's a scumbag. He's a criminal, but he's the criminal that you cool with. You know how you know the guy that sells weed? That guy's a criminal. But he's a criminal, you know. You cool with him being a criminal. That's Trump. Trump's a criminal. He's like, yeah, he's shiesty. You know what I'm saying? You'll kick it, hang around with him, but you don't trust him. You don't trust him. Oh, once you said doctor, that means they could get both. No, thank you. What crime he committed? What crime he ain't committed? Trump probably committed 4 crimes today. What are you talking about? This is Trump. Trump did committed crimes up and down this road. But so is everybody else. You think Biden ain't did no crimes? Shoot, that's all they about. These are criminals I'm telling you about. This is a whole list of criminals and cowards. This is what we talk about. These people are why the world are in peril. A president is not going to save you. We talked about the problem. We know the problems, right? Let's talk about the solutions. Guns is not the issue. Guns has never been a problem. Guns have been here before me and you were ever born. How did they become a problem now? We need gun control. We need gun control. Gun control. No, you don't. You know what's going to control the guns? The people are under control. You need people control. You need idiot control. You got too many idiots running around with guns. See, nobody can handle the truth anymore. You tell people the truth, they run. Get everybody guns. Every school should have an armed security guard, to be honest. Every school should have an armed security guard. You should have an armed security guard at every damn school. What's the difference of giving him a flashlight for? That dude needs an automatic weapon on his hip. He needs iron on his side. Then if somebody thinking of coming in there getting crazy, got something to chill, homie. I'm like, I teach all these kids about guns early. See, they don't think about the real issues here. Whenever there's an election, there's always a mass blast. And isn't it? You ever see that big mass blast come right before the votes? They'll be, the election is tonight, but it was a mass. Somebody came in with a shirt saying, I hate these Democrats or whatever, and started blasting. Then it'd be somebody, I don't know what made him do that. I don't either. On election day, that's very convenient. None of this stuff makes sense. It's way too convenient. Whenever there's a policy law in place and a debate for things to change or not change, here comes that old mass blast to put the vote back on the other side. Yes, it's real tasteful when someone else is pointing the finger, but extremely distasteful for somebody else who's pointing the finger. Yes. Back to the solutions. Solutions for your gun problem. Teach kids guns, give kids guns at early ages. Kids at school have weapons. Nobody gonna mess with these kids at school. They ain't finna start shooting each other. No, they are not. Because they gonna be, hey, you better mind. And I ain't talking about just give it to them and send them to school. I'm talking about trained kids who've been trained to have firearms. Because these kids are more safer than half of the people out there. These kids go to the range. I seen them. Little kids with their fathers, and their fathers teaching them how to reload everything. They take care of their weapon because it could save their lives, make it safe. Look at Oklahoma. Look at the states that have open carry, not concealed, open. The violence, crime level to the floor. Because you ain't going to run up on somebody that can legally blow you away. Now, let's get to the main issue. Jobs. And I want to speak exclusively to black men right now. Black men, stop asking the government to save you. In over 600 years, they have not given a damn about saving your black ass. Save yourself. Stop sitting around waiting for the government to get you a check. Find a way to make your own way in this world. Create your job so you don't have to deal with boss man. Create your own avenue. Your usefulness to where you're expendable or you're not expendable, right? So you are so valuable, you are indispensable. That's the word. They can't get rid of you. You're worth too much. They're not going to give you reparations. Stop waiting around. That's like waiting around saying, well, we're going to give you $350 million in this lotto. Just wait till we can get to you. We just got to get through the red tape. You're like, man, when my money get here, I'm going to get this house. I'm going to get the car. I'm going to get the rims I'm talking about. Man, how long it take? Stop waiting for other people to feel generous. They're not going to do for you. Thanks, Darius. I appreciate it. They're not going to do for you. Stop waiting for them to. Start using the internet. You can take classes, you can get degrees, you can get all your certifications right here online. I'm a man that made over $1 million on a laptop. I am a man who has made over $1 million from a Windows XP computer with a fan blowing. It is all possible. So if somebody can do that, I'm living proof this thing can be done just right here on the PC. You don't have to do everything exactly the way I did it. Now there's shortcuts to do everything. There's more avenues to do everything. You can sell things. They have apps generated to selling your products. You don't even need a boss anymore. Nobody needs really a boss. You can sell your own products and go straight to the consumer. You don't even have to really ship it. This avenue, this world that we're in it's a difficult one to navigate. It's very difficult because we don't know the laws. We don't know legislative rules. We're not fighting these laws. We're not even in the debates that's open floor to the public, where the public can come in for these hearings and object. We're not even there. And you worry about why, and you wonder why the gays get everything. And you say, well, the gays, they getting this, the gays getting that. You know why? Because the gays are organized. Nothing was working for the gays, and what did they do? They organized. They didn't sit around and cry and talk about it at home. They went and got into the office. They went and voted their people in position of power. So now when they bring their bill of what they want a doggone parade and pride. They want this gone. Now you can turn the F word. They wanted that word removed. Now you can't even say it on YouTube or nowhere now. Why? Because they waved around these paperwork and they got people in power. So now they got their people in power that they voted, that they pushed all the way to the top because they unified and stayed together. And it took 10, 20, 30 years. But look where they at now. They're driving the bus. Now, film, entertainment, music, it's all going to shit, but that they got what they wanted. Now, how about you? Are we going to start learning about legislation? We're going to start learning who we need to go talk to. We're going to talk to our aldermen. We're going to learn who our congressman is before we start worrying about Trump or Biden. Two puppets. We got to learn about what's real, what's transpiring out there. That's what we need. We need that. Yeah, we need that reality back. These cowards and criminals has put this world in a spiral. And they look for you and they expect the majority of you not to know what's going on. They don't expect you to know anything. Y'all want to see case in point? Now, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me see if you can. Okay, yeah, you can see it. All right. Now, here's a case of knowing your laws. All right.
Listen to me. All right. You can just provide this information for me. You have a search warrant to build a property. Okay.
He's asking this man for a search warrant to be on his property. This black man was walking up the corridor in the passageway on his property One police looked at him and he's on the grass of his own yard. He pulls him over and starts asking him for an identification because he says he looks suspicious.
I do not. Okay, so what? Listen to me. All right.
He admits he doesn't have a warrant. Listen.
You have a search warrant to be on my property. Okay. I do not. Okay, so what? Listen to me. All right. You can just provide this information for me. Your IDs. If you live here. I'm not providing you nothing, man. Matter of fact, get off my property right now if you don't have a search warrant. Sir, I'm asking you nice. And I was asking you nicely as well. Hey, sir, all I'm saying, if you don't have a search warrant, paperwork to be on my property, what crime do you suspect? Okay, the only crime that I have right now is y'all failure to identify. Okay, 38.02, failure to identify. One must already be under arrest for a crime that he has committed. What crime have I committed? Failure to identify. No.
In another example of many empathetic policing, these two officers show how they try to manipulate citizens to give up their rights.
Now, he brought up a very good question and a very good thing. Why do I have to show you any identification if I haven't been put in an arrest for a crime? If I have not committed a crime. So my thing is, for people who are driving in a car, let me give you this thing here. So people say, well, I haven't committed a crime and I got to show my driver's license. You committed an infraction. You did a traffic violation of some sort, and they have to provide that to you in order to ask you for your license and identification and everything else. So there is a violation or something in place, the reason that they're asking you for it. If nothing of that nature has happened, you would have to have committed a crime, okay, or have been arrested for you to volunteer your information. Other than that, you don't have to give it to him. This man is saying the truth.
Comes to crime once one has already lawfully. Be quiet. Let me educate this one. You hear me? Let me educate it. 38.02, failure to identify only becomes a crime when one has already been lawfully arrested for a crime. Let me give you an example, since I don't know who you is. Huh? What am I being detained for? No.
Where they clearly game planned how this would go, but unfortunately ran into a man that does not surrender his rights so easily.
No, what penal code? You got to name a penal code that I've committed. That is the crime. Name a crime that I committed. You hear me? Name a crime that I committed other than being black and walking down this driveway. Hey, shoemaker, shoemaker, don't do that, brother.
Keep the look.
They have no reason to be there, only that they saw a black man by his house and he looks suspicious. So let's just pull him over so he can get his ID. We can run it. They might got some priors or something that they can cook up. See, this is why we need to learn the law before we knew all the laws, so that these type of things don't happen to you.
Look on his face. He knows what he's saying is BS, but the kerfuffle ensues when he doesn't get his usual way.
I'm going to show you guys, because you're dealing with the wrong one. That's why you guys mad at me, because you won't be able to handle me like you handle the others. I'm on top of my game.
Yep.
You go to the tattoos and then immediately think I'm another plain, normal, regular black guy. No, player, wrong one. But let me educate you guys. That Texas Penal Code, failure to identify. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person. I am not under arrest. Once you show me that you have a legitimate reason to believe that I have committed a crime or I'm in the act of committing a crime, you got to name a penal code. What penal code do you suspect me of breaking? What crime have I committed? In my yard, you hear me?
They have nothing. That is the point.
This officer told me I look suspicious, man. I look suspicious. Walking in my own, I'm just walking down the back. I walk down the driveway right here, down to the backyard, right? When the officer right here was passing by, this officer right here was passing by. And when he seen me, he turned around and came back. And I looked up, he already in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? I got signs. He immediately stated here. He seen the no trespassing sign. That's correct. He's agreeing with me. He seen the no trespassing sign and took it upon his business because he seen a black guy. I guess it's such a nice looking house that we weren't supposed to be there. He's trespassing. He's looking to try to take something from me. You hear me? I violated no law. I haven't breached the peace. I've done nothing wrong. And he's here asking me for my information. That's all I need. And I don't have to give that to you if I've done nothing wrong, sir. For a suspicion that? Suspicious of what? Of being at this property. This is proof right here, Marlon, of what we're dealing with. This is proof what we're dealing with. We got people in charge of us who don't even know the law themselves. But I'll quote them for them. You hear me? I'll quote them for them and let them read them. You hear me? Yes, look at them.
This is sad and quite depressing. A dude doing nothing wrong, and the police trying to fabricate a story for a man to waive his rights. And they wonder why there is such distrust.
Yeah. Did you have a search warrant to come on my land, my property?
Sir, what's your name again?
Am I free or am I being detained?
I just want to know your name.
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
You free though?
Well, I don't answer questions.
Okay.
You have a nice day. Yeah. And you see how you see?
He really tried to be slick to get this guy to give up his info.
Now look at it. Now I don't want to give him a name. He's just gonna leave. I thought I was doing something wrong. If I'm doing something wrong, why are you leaving away so quick? Huh? Yes.
Hey, sir.
Why am I leaving away so quick? What's your name again, sir?
I'm Officer Ortiz.
Officer Ortiz?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is what we're dealing with, Marlon. You hear me? We got people like him who don't even know the law themselves. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, officer. Uh-huh. Yeah. Got him. Got him, boss. Hey, Jack, that's how you gotta handle him.
The penal code the uploader cites was the following. A person can...
Yep. Now, I wanted y'all to see that for that reason right there. No, they can wear Dockers. That's not staged. That's actually a real thing. That's a real police officer, and that is a small town in Texas called Marlin. Marlin, Texas. And believe me, not all police officers have to dress the way you think they do. Believe me, I've seen them in shorts. Cop can be a cop in anything. Trust me. You ever get pulled over and you ever seen Nothing to Lose? Go watch that movie, Nothing to Lose, with Dan Aykroyd. That guy was like a legitimate judge. That's how the judges used to be in some of these small towns. The courthouse would be in a barn. They got one like that out here. You be like, where I gotta go to court at? It's a barn. You be, oh man, I ain't going in there. Shoot. When I had that car accident, why you think I didn't get the benefit of the doubt? Nothing went my way in that courthouse. Oh, they made sure of that. But did you see how he handled the situation? Verse PRO, how was he violent? The man did not threaten them in any way. He did not make a threatening move towards them anyway. They did not feel threatened by him. If they felt threatened by him as police officers, they would have drawn their firearm. You need to be under a reasonable suspicion of committing a crime. That is absolutely correct. And there was no reasonable suspicion of him committing a crime. That's why he wasn't detained. Say there was a bank robbery right by there, or they had an alarm or a report of a break-in. Now you have a reasonable suspicion of someone committing a crime. So you can detain them, lawfully detain them because they have this going on. But they have to tell you, we've had reports of a bank robbery, so we have to detain you and, get your identification and find out, everything before we let you go, because we don't know who could be coming from that infraction. Well, he wasn't hostile either. Verse PRO. That man wasn't hostile. He was adamantly making a point. But see how when it's a black guy, it's automatically he hostile. How was he hostile? Who was he hostile at? I've seen white guys get very hostile with the police officers. Like they work for them. Like, I pay your salary. I mean, they be all in their face. If those guys felt, yes, he's pretty amped up because he's standing on his property and the police is asking him for his identification and he's on his own house and they had no reason to pull him over. You try being black for a week. Start getting pulled over and suspicious of things you have not even done. You're on your own property. There haven't been no call for any break-ins or anything. What's the suspicion of? I am black. Well, then you should know better. You said, I am black. Well, you should know better. That makes it even worse. You should know better than that. I am pro-gun, pro-us, pro-country. I'm pro-quit depending on the state. Get out there and grind. Get in the game. Too much sitting around. Well, that's great. Congratulations to you. I don't get harassed that much either. I know some of the cops out here and everything. I don't get harassed that much either. Only one time they did it because they saw me driving and wanted to pull me over, and the officer lied and said that my light was out on my license plate. But I conform. I turn on the lights. I give them my insurance. I give them my license. The quicker I get them out, the better. I don't need to get into a yelling match with the cop. Yo, man, what the hell? I don't want to do all that. Yeah, well, that's what happens. Oh, he was very ill. I don't get harassed by cops ever. Well, that's good for you. Very good to know. So, meanwhile, I just wanted to have this very good, positive conversation. Black men, we got to start being black men. Stop being cowards and criminals. We got to wake up. Everybody, we got to get out of this phase. It's not a race issue. It's a condition issue. You have to change your condition by changing the way you are doing things. You're hustling backwards. If you're selling dope and you're only getting enough to buy some Jordans and you waste it there, you're hustling backwards. All your progress is going down. Oh, thanks, JF. Everything you're doing is going down the drain if you're going that way. You're hustling absolutely backwards. There's people out here grinding, really making changes out here. They creating their own jobs. They creating their own way. They ain't waiting on reparations. Go out there and be productive. Be a productive citizen. And get your FOIA card and get you a gun. Get yourself a gun. That's right. Learn and arm yourself. Go learn how to shoot. Because you never know what's going to happen in this country. That's right. See what this red stands for? The blood and sweat and tears our ancestors to put into this whole country. What that say? Relentless defender. I'm relentless. I'm going to defend what's mine. Now you gonna step up and defend what's yours. Do so. Prove them wrong. You are worth something. Prove your worth. I'm out.